Well, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us tonight. Let's see who's going to join us as we go along. Okay, might have problems with my sound. Let me know if it's too loud or too low. And slight technical problem with it earlier. Tonight's show, well, first up we've got a video. Hi Pam, always the first. Love it. Let me know, Pam, if you can hear me okay, because I'm having a bit of problem with my sound. I don't know whether it's too high or too low, but anyway, let's go on. First up is a video slideshow with photos from Monika Brewster. She attended St John's and she left Singapore in 1967. So, hello Laura. So we'll go straight on with that. Here you go. Right, I'd like to welcome to the program Mike Dowsett, who was in Singapore at a very young age, 8, I believe. And I want to ask you about the Barracudas Swimming Club, which he joined. So how did all this come about, Mike?
Okay, we arrived in Singapore in towards the end of the first quarter of '68, and one of the first things we wanted to do, and my father wanted to do, was get us to join a swimming club, because at that stage we couldn't really swim. We could do the basics, but nothing else. As we lived in the Sussex Estate, we had the option of joining Dover Dolphins, but my father worked at 40 Command Workshops, which was on the Ayaraja Road, I think. Mm-hmm. And he had a lot of dealings in Gilman Barracks. So in the end, he had the choice, and we joined Gilman Swimming Club, joined the Barracudas. Very strange swimming pool to get to. I used to get the black and yellow bus from the top of Sussex Estate down to the Ayaraja Road and get off at the dip. I don't know if everybody remembers the dip by the hospital at Alexander.
Oh, yes.
And I used to walk from there to Gilman, and you'd be going up and down, and then the swimming pool is almost like on a plateau, isn't it? It's on a hill. You've got to go all those steps. But when I got in there, I quite liked the swimming pool. It was I preferred it to Dover Road swimming pool, actually. So the first thing we had to do really was learn to swim good enough to be able to join I think it's the ASA award scheme, bronze, silver and gold, which we did very quickly. Before we knew it, we were actually doing the life-saving. After bronze, silver and gold, there was life-saving. Of course, combined with that, we actually joined the competition, the swimming team, a competition team, which again was a really good experience. Met lots of great people there. I can only remember one or two names now. Memory's not serving me very good on that. My father joined the club as an administrator, helping timing, etc. In the photograph of the Gilman Barracudas on the hill at the side of the pool there, my father's on, as you look at the photo, on the bottom left, with the striped shirt on. But yeah, I used to like going there. I remember we had lots of barbecues there. The army would turn up with their #1 burners and half sawn in half oil drums, and we used to sit there and stuff a face.
Great.
But yeah, I remember I used to like the costume as well. I used to like the speedos, the black and red striped speedos. I thought they were quite cool. They were silk, so. But yeah, I remember competitions. I don't remember who against, but I know we used to go to Dover and swim against the Dolphins. We used to go to Tangling quite often, and I remember one night actually going to Tangling or coming back from Tangling. We were in a coach, and there was an awful bang on the side of the coach, and the coach stopped, and the lady who was in the photograph, the lady with the white hair, I can't remember her name, she got off the coach, and what had happened is we'd hit a pedestrian on the head when we were turning the corner. This pedestrian, apparently she came back on and said, he's all right. He said, but he's got the size of a golf ball on the side of his head. So, but yeah, I also remember going into the city centre somewhere. I'm not sure whether it was the Singapore Country Club or something else, but we went to this very sort of nice, posh swimming pool. I can't remember what that was, and I can't remember who we raced against. So I just remember, it was on the way to Raffles Hotel. So, so yeah.
It's possible that could be the Britannia Club, because that was across the road from Raffles.
Yeah, that probably sounds like the one.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got in there or what the invitation was or whatever, but we spent a lovely day in there. I can remember that. And I can remember going across to Malaya to swim against some British school children. I don't know what that was or where that was, but it was in Johor Bahru. But I don't know what the units were or whatever. But it was always good going across the causeway. During our time there, we went up to the Cameron Highlands. We spent a holiday in the Cameron Highlands, I suppose, like everybody tried to do, which was quite good. So yeah, and my dad was in the electronics side of things, so he always used to go up in up country into Malaya to do confidential things in the listening stations and that we had there. I think, although he never told me that, but I presume that's what it was.
Yeah. How often did the club meet? Can you remember? Sort of, was it once a week or?
Yeah, once a week.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
And I always remember I had quite a strict routine set by my parents. We'd come back from school and I wasn't allowed to go out to play on the afternoons that we met. I had to sit in the armors quarters, which sometimes was empty because we didn't have one all the time.
Yeah.
And they used to buy me colouring books, and I had to sit in there doing the colouring books. So I didn't waste my energy. So I was fit and ready to go in the evening. But what strikes me as funny at the time, I mean, I was at 8.5 coming on to 9 at that stage, and I was going all the way to Gilman Barracks on my own. My parents never came with me.
Yeah.
I always find that strange. No, I would be more cautious with my own son, who's now 9, 10, doing that. I suppose it was different times and different things, really.
I was going to say, yeah, Singapore was. I mean, there was crime and that there, but it seemed to be very safe, for youngsters, kids especially, for
I think it was very strict, wasn't it?
It was quite authoritarian in some respects. Yeah.
I've just been reading on the internet. Actually, there were race riots in Singapore in '69, but I never knew anything about that.
Well, some things didn't get printed in the papers. I remember travelling past the Padang one night. I don't know where I'd been. I think I'd been to see somebody off on the boat. And there was a full-scale riot going on outside the government offices and that, several hundred people and banners and police and everything else. Of course, the next day, picked up the paper and there wasn't a mention of it.
There's nothing in it, no.
Nothing on the TV.
Wasn't quite as free as the press we have here.
There's some strange
but another memory of the swimming, whenever I attained my bronze, silver and gold ASA swimming awards or any other thing, my parents would come with me, and after that it'd be a trip to the dip, and there was a what seemed like at the stage a massive toy shop there, and I used to be able to go in there and pick whatever toys I wanted as some sort of reward.
That's good.
But I used to like going to the dip. It's quite interesting for 8+ young lad, I think.
Oh yeah. I found it was an eye opener in Singapore for the shops and that.
I used to go to the armors market at the bottom of. As you come out of the Sussex Estate, you turn right and go to the bottom. You go to the Ayaraja Road. There was a big armors market once a month.
That's right. That was Clementi Road going down to the Ayaraja Road with the roundabout. I remember that because I used to go down there to buy records. I think it was once a week, once a month. I'm not sure, but I do remember, and all them hurricane lamps or storm lamps.
That's right.
Place. It was amazing.
And of course, there was the mosque at the bottom there, which you heard every day. I remember on a weekend day, my father took me and my eldest sister, and I'll have a picture of this. I'll show you the picture. And we walked from Sussex Estate to the mosque. We actually went in the mosque. They let us go, and we looked around. And then we spent the rest of the day going the length of Kent Ridge all the way to Gilman. And that was, quite a day's walking, really.
I can imagine,
I think at one stage we went down the other side, and I think we were on the road to Keppel Harbour.
Oh yes, yeah.
There's another picture there where we stopped for some refreshments with my sister and myself. Yeah, it was good. It was good times, really. It was amazing. But yeah, the swimming, you never kept me out of the swimming pool when I was there. If it wasn't Gilman, it was Dover Road. We'd go to Dover Road and sit on Dover Road. I can always remember at the back of the high diving boards, there was the swimming pool had been built up, and there was quite a drop.
That's right.
We used to play silly games with friends and that, climbing over the barriers and hanging on.
That underneath there, I think was the water purification.
That's right.
Room or something. Yeah.
And I used to love going to the refreshment place at Dover Road, because I sold ice cream soda, which I love. So I was always going there getting ice cream soda. But I've got some pictures of my sister collecting some medals from the Remy swimming competition there. So, yeah.
So was your sister in the Barracudas as well?
No, she was. She stayed with us, I think, for 6 months, and she went to the Bourne School.
Oh, right.
But my father decided at that age it would be best for her to go back to the UK, so she went to Kennylands boarding school. I don't know whether anybody else knows that. I don't know whether it was just for Remy service people, but that was just outside Reading in Solomon Common. So, and she used to come in, every holiday. She used to fly over with British Airways. I think there was a club, and I always remember her bringing back stuff that they were given on the plane to do, like maps and colouring and maps.
Oh, right, yeah.
Quite look forward to that. And at that stage, anything she bought from England, I used to think, oh, that's from England. Oh, let me smell it. It's England. Because at the stage, it was like, oh,
Homesick,
I'd rather be in England. But I'd give anything to go back there now, really.
I know. I was the same at times in Singapore. There was an urge to get back to England, and
I remember we used to go to Changi as well. Obviously, we did a lot of swimming at Changi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether my memory is tricking me, but I remember everybody having to get out of the water because there was a shark swimming around. But yeah, and somebody had said one of the fishermen in the fishing boats had got his arm bitten off, but I don't know, things like that. I used to like picking up the king crabs by the tails at Changi. And I also found there were lots of gun emplacements from the war, if I remember. I used to love going up to play in there, even though don't go and play up there. But of course,
I did find the currents of Changi quite strong, actually, because
they were strong. I don't know whether it was Changi Creek or another creek I'm thinking about, where there were actually some warnings. Don't swim in here because they're very strong. Oh no, I know where that was. That was at the RAF at Changi, where you used to sit in the quarters and wait for your flights the next day.
Oh,
there was a creek beside there, and I thought that.
Yeah, that actually leads down to Changi Creek. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think of the hotel.
Yeah.
It was a transit hotel. I can't
it was. Yeah.
It now. Yeah.
But I know it's supposed to be about the swimming, but another memory was staying in the Savoy Hostel. I'm not sure where that was in relation to Sussex Estate, but I remember staying in that. And
I think it's off right down the IRR Road again. I'm pretty sure. Somebody will bound a message in when we're doing when I'm playing this live.
Yeah.
Where Savoy Hostel is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure lots of people have stayed there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what amazed me was they didn't have refrigerators. There was an old-fashioned ice box which was kept outside the rooms, and that sort of, even at that time, amused me a little bit. So, but a thing that used to be on the grass outside the quarters that they had there, you'd get I don't know the name of them, the plants, the weeds that if you touched them, they would close.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I used to love playing with those. They were quite good. Yeah.
They were quite common in amongst the grass, weren't they? To see them, yeah. And I think they were quite prickly as well.
They were actually, they were, yeah. So all these little memories coming back.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah. Had lots of fun on the Sussex Estate, running in and under the monsoon drains and playing cowboys and Indians and whatever.
Yeah.
And we had jungle at the back of the garden. Anybody lived? I lived on Goodwood Close.
Yeah.
Or Goodwood Road. I can't remember. Was it Goodwood Road?
Yeah.
Goodwood Road. Yeah. And at the bottom of the gardens, it was still jungle. And I always remember we had a budgie and we lost the budgie, and my father was out for hours looking for this budgie in the jungle. I don't think I'd have done it.
No.
And another thing that we used to have the grills on the doors and the bars in the window to stop. Is it the greasy man?
Oh yeah, the old rumor of
the greasy man.
Yeah.
I've there's a picture coming up with me and my two sisters and our dog sitting outside the back of the the quarters. So that'll be. But yeah, I was always frightened about the greasy man. He was, he was.
Yes, he was well known. Nobody's ever met him, but he was well known.
Yeah, the greasy man, like the bogey man.
That's it, yeah.
And memories of the Magnolia ice cream man coming round.
Oh yes, yeah.
And he always used to have, the back was full of toys, so we used to get toys for that. That was quite good.
Yeah.
Sorry, just kidding. Yeah, and one thing that made me amaze me was you used to get the satay man come around on his bike, and he'd have his grill on the front of his bike.
Yeah.
And I used to love those satay sticks. I mean, I used to play football a lot, and we used to go and play teams from the kampongs.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to sound particularly interested, but the natives from the kampongs, they didn't wear football boots. They had little like bandages that they put over their feet.
Yeah.
And they used those instead of football boots, which is a good idea. It stopped your foot stinging when you hit the ball, I think.
Oh yeah. But it goes to show also that there was quite a bit of poverty going on in
it was.
Yeah. I mean, we're on about the tradesmen on their motorbikes and that. I mean that's what they had to do.
Yeah.
Any way of earning any money otherwise.
I remember on the Sussex Estate, you used to get the old knife grinder come round. And, and you used to leave the pig's will out for the guy to come round and collect the stuff, the food for his pigs. Good times. Yeah, good times. I wish I could go back, but I think I'd be disappointed if I went back because it's completely changed.
That's right.
Although if I can, I will go back, I think.
Yeah, just for curiosity and peace of mind. Yeah.
Again, I've just been looking at a map of Singapore now, and it's unrecognisable. Really, I can't place where Sussex Estate was. To be honest with you, I can find the hospital, and I can find Gilman Barracks and the Iorida Road, and I can find the Dover Road, but it doesn't seem to ring any bells. The layout doesn't seem to ring any bells for me. Really.
Well, the thing is, Sussex Estate was completely obliterated. I think they've got a school on the site now.
Yeah, okay, good. I might know where that is down there then. But there was. I remember looking on Singers. There was somebody went back to Sussex Estate before it was knocked down, and the jungle was reclaiming the gardens.
That's right. Yeah. I'm trying to think who that person was. I know the photographs you mean, though. Yeah.
And the soundtrack he had on it was like "Memories" by Barbra Streisand. I think, oh my god.
It certainly did get overgrown on that. Yeah, very quickly. Yeah.
But that was quite a while after, and I'm surprised it was still there then. I'm not sure what it was, the 90s, wasn't it, or something, I think?
That's right. I think there's a video on the site of 22 Goodwood Road just before demolition. And I think that was in 1997 when it got demolished. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the video. But, it shows... basically, it shows the house, the inside the house, and you can hear knocking and drills going on all over the place. They're starting to pull them down, But it actually shows the street as well. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, there's some good pictures of the Sussex Estate on there, but obviously over time they've deteriorated a lot, and it makes it look quite. Not gloomy, but quite. Not
run
as
down.
You remember it.
Run down on that.
Run down, but I never remember it looking run down. So.
Oh no! I mean, I'm not sure when they built it. Probably in the early '60s, I think, or 1960 it opened. So it was only 10 years when he left there. Yeah. So still quite new. But they made way for a secondary school, and of course you've got the Clementi town now all around it as well. So that's kind of built up the whole area. And tabletops, of course, they demolished that completely, dug it up, and took it away to to reclaim the sea.
Yeah. I used to love playing on the tabletops. It was good
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, certainly was.
Yeah. Another place I used to like going was Holland Village.
Yeah.
Again, I can remember that as it was, but I have seen pictures of it now modernised, and obviously it's the old Holland Village is gone. But because I can always remember just round from there on the bus, if you went further around and you got to the top of Orchard Road, there was a jade. A shop that sold jade, and my mother always used to stop there and look at jade.
Yeah.
But I know Holland Village quite well because my first 6 months at Alexander Junior School, there wasn't room for us to be in the class there, so we used to go to the Chipby Estate, and there was some empty space by the exchange quarters there, and we used to have our school lessons in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the school, Alexander Junior. My sister went there. She would have been there, and actually, she would have got the same bus as you, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Because we left in '69, so you were still there.
Still there. Yeah.
I'll have to ask her about that.
Yeah. I can't remember the names of any teachers or anything. I know headmaster was a bit crazy. He used to wander around in a sarong and show us how to put sarongs and that on. And I always remember the name of the janitor. It was Ho Cha. So ask her if she knows about Ho Cha. But I like that school as well. I've been looking online to try and get one of the badges with the logo and manners maketh man. Yeah.
I haven't got any of them. I've got some naval school badges which I'm giving away, but I haven't got any of the other school badges.
It's quite funny actually because I played for the football team and we used to play Wessex, and Wessex, apart from being a different school and being the enemy, they were the enemy because their football strip was like the old West German strip, a white shirt with black collars. So we always used to love playing them.
Thanks very much, Mike, for sharing your memories with us, and it's been really enjoying talking to you. Yeah,
it's been really good. I've been. I'll certainly probably try and get along to, if there's a meeting close to Essex, I'll probably try and pop along and come along. It'd be quite good,
Oh, do that, yes.
Yeah. I enjoy talking about it, so there's no problem.
Okay, thanks very much, Mike.
All right then, Tom. Thanks very much. Thank you. Bye.
Well, that was certainly a very interesting conversation we had. I totally forgot about the time in that. My hair. This lockdown is doing my hair no good. What I've got left anyway. If anybody else with memories like that, Steve Barry and myself would love to interview you for the program. So just let us know. You can message us from the top of the page, actually, if you want to have a say and the memories and show photographs, etc. Similar format to what we've just done with Mike. Anyway, a couple of things that I wanted to mention. My microphone, it was my fault. I forgot to turn it on again after the introduction. So I didn't have a lot to say during that piece anyway, other than to welcome people and read out various names and say that we've got a nice little community going here with lots of regular viewers and that. And a lot of exchange of messages as well, especially tonight. It's sparked a bit of a conversation. What else was I going to say? You may have recognised that. Well, those of you who went to reunions in Newcastle would have recognised the pub behind me. I've changed the scene. The pub behind me is the room we actually meet for the reunion, and it's the Weatherspoons. And it's unusual to see it empty, but I managed to grab a photograph, and so I'm using that as a backdrop for a while. Gone as an old centurion. Right, next up is the last slideshow actually for the night, and it's from Ron Brown. Ron was in the RAF and based at RAF Tengah. Now, one of his photos shows the exact instant a 60 Squadron Venom hit a married quarter in June 1957. he was on duty that day, and obviously had to deal with the aftermath as well, because he was one of the firemen. So quite a poignant one. Then, as I say, I can't tell you what's happening in a fortnight's time because I haven't got anybody lined up to interview. But no doubt we'll find somebody before then. So anyway, just to wish you well, and I'll sign off with Ron.